All right, guys. So today I have to talk about an unfortunate tragedy that happened to a Alabama police officer named Marquis Moorer. He was coming home from work, right, around 4 a.m. to take a lunch break. Unfortunately, he was ambushed, shot, and killed. Okay. And this is a very tragic event that I really want to talk about, because I think what is happening to our police officers across the country is really a tragedy, and it is a damn shame that the media is not paying attention to what's going on right now and what our officers are dealing with. But before I get in that, I want you guys to watch the news coverage from this incident. Take a look.
Selma Police Department is devastated, and we're asking for the community for your prayers.
The city of Selma finding itself overwhelmed with shock and grief tonight, 12 hours after a police officer was gunned down in an apparent ambush. It happened this morning at 4 at the officer's home at the Selma Square apartment complex. That's just off Citizens Parkway, north of downtown. WSFA 12 News reporter Brian Henry is live from Selma City Hall with the latest on this case. Brian, what have you found out tonight?
Hey, Mark. Well, the police officer's name was Marquis Moorer, who was in his late 20s. And according to city leaders, law enforcement, and investigators, the officer was ambushed. Law enforcement of all stripes converged on Selma Square Apartments this morning and spent the better part of the day looking for evidence, clues, and why in the world would someone shoot and kill Marquis Moorer. Marquis Moorer was on duty and decided to go to his apartment and grab a bite to eat when he was shot to death.
Right, he was in his apartment and somebody came up on the scene and shot him.
Like knocked on the door or something?
I don't know the details about whether he broke into the door or did he stay on the outside and shoot.
District Attorney Michael Jackson says another person was injured, a woman who was either Moorer's girlfriend or wife.
Sure, but it appears she's gonna live.
This morning is yet another tragic moment in our city.
In the news conference following the ambush, it was clear the shock of losing an officer in this fashion weighed on the mayor, the police chief, and the head of SBI.
Right now we have a lot of our resources trying to get to the bottom of this.
These are never easy, but it is more difficult when it's one of your own. This morning, one of our officers, Officer Marquis Moorer, was murdered.
Chief Fulford and I met with members of the family this morning and had prayer and expressed our condolence to the family.
All right, guys. So as you can see there, again, that is obviously a very tragic situation. They actually did arrest the suspect, and it is 18-year-old Javante Cornelius Stubbs, right? That's his name. And I want you guys to take a good look at him. I really do. Just take a good look at this guy. This guy right here is your sellout. This guy right here is your Uncle Tom. This is the Sambo. This is who your sellouts are in the black community. Okay? Because way too many times black conservatives have to deal with ridicule and criticism saying that we're selling out the black community. We don't care about the black community. That, we just tap dancing for the white man. When they never have anything to say. These woke revolutionaries, these people that love throwing around these words and these phrases, never have anything to say about these criminals and thugs that are really the ones that are destroying the black community. They never have anything to say about it. I never hear them call sellouts and Uncle Toms. I don't hear it. I don't hear it. And also what I don't hear is people protesting and speaking out and honoring this police officer's life who lost his life tragedy. The man was coming home to get lunch, probably to make a sandwich, and he was killed, ambushed by a coward. But there's no t-shirts. There are no riots. There's no awareness. Media doesn't care. Nobody's talking about it. And then people wonder why there are a lot of people in this country that don't take the Black Lives Matter / social justice movement seriously, because it's not a serious movement. It's not. If you are an upstanding black man that abides by the law, that has a good job, that protects his community, if you're shot and killed by a thug, a criminal, a sellout, right, who happens to be black, nobody gives a damn about you. You will never get a t-shirt. You will never get a slogan with your name on it. You will not get a street sign or a bill named after you. Your family will not be visiting the White House. You'll never get anything because nobody cares. Your black life does not matter. I guarantee you, if this coward was killed by a white police officer, Ben Crump would fly his ass down there, and there will be protests and riots in the street demanding justice. Demanding justice. And some people might say, well, you know, the criminal justice system has caught this guy. They put him in jail. They're doing their job. There's no need to protest and riot for that. No. Miss me with that. Because this is another example of the black on black violence that happens every single day that is routinely ignored. This time it happened on a black police officer. And this police officer, he looked like a young guy. He looks like somebody that stepped up and said, hey, you know what? I want to serve my community. And you had another black man take his life. Again, I don't know the details, right? We really don't have that much information about why it happened. Who knows? I mean, the officer could have been caught up in something that he wasn't supposed to be caught up in, but I don't know that. But what I do know is that he signed up to protect his community. In which I strongly believe that a lot more young black men should sign up to serve their communities. They should, right? Because if people want to protest about, you know, racism and policing, I mean, well, one way to try to mitigate that is to have more black police officers, specifically policing black people, right? That way, when the black police officer puts hot lead in one of these cowards, then they can't complain and cry racism, right? We can actually get to the bottom of what happened, right? But guys, there have been 37 police officers murdered on the job during the first 5 months of this year. 37. And you've heard nothing. All while crime is rising. And you have far left radicals out here talking about how they need to defund the police. Talking about doing everything they can to give the police less resources, to not support the police. And people wonder why there's a shortage in this country, why nobody wants to sign up and do this job. People wonder why nobody wants to sign up and do this job. Well, the reason why is because why would you? What's the benefit? What do you get out of it? You get mediocre pay. You get overworked. You got to work overtime to make decent pay. You get good benefits. But the people that you're serving don't appreciate what you do. They don't like you, especially if you're white. They don't like you. And if something happens to happen to you, right, if you get killed, nobody's going to protest and riot for you. Nobody's going to protest in your name. Nobody's going to make a shirt. Nobody's going to give you a chant or a slogan. But if you happen to kill somebody, even if it's justified, you can be doxxed by LeBron James. You'll be ridiculed. People will be calling for your job. You'll receive threats. While at the same time, again, you have politicians calling to defund the police. You got the fake Democrats in Washington, D.C. pretending like they love the police after demonizing the police for a whole year. Police officers are so underappreciated, man. This type of stuff, it shows that there is a epidemic going on in regards to police officers being murdered, and nobody is talking about it. Nobody has anything to say about it. It's not getting any attention whatsoever. Again, this is why we have a shortage of people that don't want to do this job. It's a shame. It really is. So, rest in peace to Marquis Moorer. And I'm glad that the criminal has been arrested, and I hope that justice is served. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.